Welcome to chapter 4. This is a short chapter about data structure and operators in R. So let's talk about the data structure in R first. Our vectors, so the most important are vectors, matrices and data frames. The easiest way to think about data structure is to think about a table. Just like look in the middle under the matrix. So a table has rows and columns. So if you think about a vector, you have either one column or one row of data. So not a full table. And as we have seen before, it can be only one type, like numeric or character or factor. Now, if you look at the middle, the matrix, then it is like a real table. We have columns and rows, but it is still just one data type. So therefore, in psychology, most often we just use data frames. Data frames is again a table with rows and columns, but it allows to have multiple data types. So let's check this out using R. And here at the beginning, I just computed a vector. As you can see, I just used the combine function and include 3 numbers. Then again, matrices we don't use very often, but I have included one. You can see again I have a string of variables, basically a vector. And then I say how many of them are in a row and how many do we have in columns. And if you do that and then click on Math, run it, then we can see we get basically a matrix. So most important are like this kind of vectors, because we use like short vectors all the time, as we have seen already before. And now something else is important, and these are data frames. So we already have used a data frame in the last chapter. This is normally what you do in psychology. If we analyze data, then it's normally a data frame. I show you how you can make up your own data frame. And you might wonder why that is important, but I show you that in a minute. So here, you can see below there is a version where we use data.frame, but here I want to just use read in basically a table, because that's what we can think. We can think about a table. Then I want to say that the first row will be a header, and then I have to say everything is just text-based. So if I do that, then you can see I get now a data frame. You can also see it looks very different from the matrix. So the matrix is indicated with these square brackets. Now the data frame is, as we can see, a data frame, and it looks quite nice. We have here the names of the variables, and then each row gets a number, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Now you might wonder why it is important for you to learn how to create your own little data sets. And the reason is, if you want to learn R and how R works, you want to test it. To understand how R works, I just create very quickly a little data set. I check it out how it works, and then I actually can trust R and say, oh, this is how it works, and that is very helpful. Okay, here just another option how to do it with using the function data frame, and so you have this option too. Okay, just a quick summary. What is very important for us are vectors. So we are using this kind of small vectors all the time, and also data frames. However, don't be surprised if you find other data structures like arrays or now tables, and so we might discuss this in a more advanced session.